that we're in. So, so this is Big Buddha. I am Nemo and Timon. We together create the NimonTank. You see a little bit of a different layout than before. Uh, we're trying new things. We're trying to be better, and every day is a new day. So,
Oh yeah, thank you for jumping in with us. I was looking confused at the beginning because my Twitch was not loading the screen. It was just a black screen.
all right. So I'm taking out this headphone. We can just jump in. You said that you had a couple topics that you want to talk about personally, Nate, and
I'm sorry, go ahead.
that is what we're here for. We're here to have conversations. We're here to jump in the chair, have discussions of topics we want to talk about. And
Open-minded conversation from both sides.
if that is little, is just fuck around. That's entertainment. We're here for. We love just messing around with a lot of different. It's just what we do.
Me, there's a reason I messaged you about one to talk about because I know that you some stuff that you'd have strong stand. But it's not what's going on. Not within no hotel because like that whole parade was the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. But more the ICE protest because I saw a video today of people that were getting fucking run over by people who were trying to protest in the streets.
Well, I don't know if you heard about this, but Florida's governor was like, if you feel threatened, run him over.
Excuse me, the Florida chief of police.
Oh, dude, he's one of the funniest, greatest people I've seen. Got New Jersey, but super.
I love out of everything that he says.
Mr. Offering with you.
Last line is, if you want to run at us, we'll call your family to pick up your belongings because you're not.
If you are aggressive to us, what's going to happen is you're going to go to the hospital and then you're going to go to jail. But we will take you to the hospital first.
Then jail. Hospital, then jail. Jail, because I was watching a bunch of videos where it was the protesters protesting, but then at some point there would be somebody trying to get through when they're on the street. There's somebody trying to get through, and then a crowd would gather around the person, telling them they can't go and they need to stop and all this stuff, and then they run over somebody or they hit somebody with their car. In all honesty, regardless of what side I'm on, because like even this ice thing is fucking to me it's fucking crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I think the policing on the streets has gone way too fucking far. But at the same time, the protesters that do that to the people in their cars, I have zero remorse for the people that get run over. Honestly, I think it's a good thing if they get run over. Because why the fuck are you doing that? If you're doing your protest, do your protest. But like, my name is not ICE. I don't work for ICE. If I'm driving on that road, I'm just another fucking person like you driving on this road to try and get to my fucking job, to try and get to my fucking family. I'm trying to live my life. You protest, fantastic. Make voices heard. But just because I'm not sitting on the street with you, I think it's ridiculous of the people that are kind of mobbing the cars.
Yeah,
But I wanted to bring that up and ask if you've seen any of this stuff, seen any of
I
those
have.
videos.
I've been keeping track of it. I know people that have gone to some of these protests, and luckily for the people I know, it's always been peaceful and it has not gotten to a level of aggression that I worried about them by any means. Um, I think that it's slightly unfair that you got people that are just trying to do their job, right? Um, I saw a video today of, I don't remember whose senator or governor that was arrested. He was arrested and he asked the right questions that my lawyer told my wife to ask is, do you have like a judge signed warrant for my arrest? Because if you don't have a, yeah, if you don't have that, you can't legally arrest me. I don't have to comply to you. You have no reason for me to consent to you. And what was even more alarming to me was that there were about 7 people accosting him, but only 3 of them were in uniform and or with things that said police on it or gear that said that kind of stuff. Because anyone can buy that clothing.
Yeah, I agree. The undercover police stuff, it gets a little murky.
If I was armed and someone tried to accost me like that in that way, saying they're police, and I don't believe that they are,
Yeah, I agree that if you are not looking like you are a police officer, I know too many people that have been taken advantage of by someone lying about what their identity is, what their authority is. And yeah, I agree with you 100%.
should there be an issue with that? Like I think that there should definitely be something that should be in the law of,
I agree.
and it's already in the law, but people still do it.
I don't think that undercover police officers, at least for general public, I don't think undercover police officers should have arresting rights. I don't think that they should be able to
They
run
should be
and throw someone to the ground and cuff them.
with uniformed
Because
officers to do it.
yeah,
I would
yeah,
agree. I would agree.
if you're not a completely evident cop, you should not be able to do that. Because if I'm standing there, if I was smoking a joint out at the park over here, and somebody in plain ass clothes came and tackled me, my first reaction isn't going to say, "Oh, why are you tackling me?
It's
Are you
defend
with the
myself.
police?" Like, no,
It's defend myself.
it's defend myself because I'm getting attacked by someone with no authority. That is, to me, just some random fucking person running up. So, yeah, I don't think that. And the reason I said the general public is because I understand when you're doing a sting or something like that, right? You don't want the cops to be seen because you've been following this person for however fucking long. You don't want to blow it up. Blah blah blah. That all makes sense.
Well,
But if it's
when you
if
say
it's a
that,
regular person, huh?
well, when you say that, it's like, well, if you're in an undercover situation, who kicks down the door? ATF, FBI, they all have those stupid jackets on. They got like everything, laid out for themselves. That's fine, right? Because they normally handcuff the undercover also, right? Like normally they're going to take everybody down so nobody has suspicion of their undercover guy, right? But in these situations, it's these poor people are going to their court mandated
Agreed.
court hearings for their legal right to stay within the US, and they're getting arrested. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah. Did the timer not go off? Yes. The oven's off, right? Please. Did the timer not go off? Well, the oven's off, right?
So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And another thing that I think a lot of people don't realize about these ICE raids that they're talking about is this. They're not just attacking Hispanic people. They're attacking people from all over the world, right? And they even...
Oh, yeah. To the layman's eye, it looks
but it's not. They're taking people that are Egyptian. They're taking people that are Japanese, Chinese, Indian. They're taking a lot of people.
You know, we always talk about gray area. Because I even know of people that have done that, Indian people that have done that, outstayed their visas and tried to just stay for much longer and all that stuff. In all honesty, ICE taking out people that have overstayed their visas and not renewed their shit and not gotten the right things in motion, I honestly don't have a problem with it. because this also goes back to when I was talking about how everyone. This is like, I think this is pod 2, but when I was talking about how the rest of the world looks at the U.S. as if we are still the fucking saviors of the world, the shepherds, and able to do all this stuff, which we're in no position to do anymore. Those people that have overstayed, maybe at some point we could have made that work, but at this point, when we are already struggling ourselves, I that goes hand in hand with the refugee thing. It's more mouths to feed without enough in your fucking bowl at the end of the day.
Well, so one thing about these ice raids that did not bring me enjoyment, but I did chuckle at it, is that for some reason, when our glorious president is the one to employ these people and keeps his costs down, he's going to let it slide by. People that work in hotels, people that work on farms, where he probably gets his money from, like his fruit from, you know? It's just so interesting that it's so convenient that in these specific places, he's gonna let it slide.
Yeah, the double standard is ridiculous, and I mean even that I think that double with the belief that I just said, even that should be thrown the fuck out. There should be no double standards. Um, because even if you're doing work and everything here, if it was to happen the right way, I have no problem with it. But at this point, when we are still struggling, I think that the way that they're going about it is completely wrong.
Well,
I think it's
so when
very
you have
fucked up.
weak
But
leadership, right? I like, and we talked about this
mhm.
in the first couple pods that we are very open minded to a lot of different ideas, and we've had conversations that Donald Trump, the things he says aren't totally wrong. We do have an issue with people collecting unemployment. We do have an issue of us burning through money. We have an issue with the military and the government spending that just disappears into the ether. We have issues with all of those
Yep.
things, and we agree that like him bringing it up is a very important thing. Now, is he fixing any of it? I have no idea. We thought, we were hoping that Elon Musk could do something about it, but he could bring it up and nobody do anything about it. So what does it really do?
That shit went up in flames. That shit went up in flames, and now Trump is doing so much shit that is against what he is. He came out saying, even the points where I was like, he's making a good point. Even those points are now going
Well,
up in
so I don't
flames.
know
It
if you've
seems
seen the
like.
news about what's going on in Iran.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if we would bring that up
It's
as
all
well,
under the
but yeah.
leadership of our great leader.
Hmm. The thing that pisses me off so much is the fact that one of the things that I really loved that Trump had actually said was America first. America first. He wants to cut down how much we use the rest of the world's resources, try and bring everything back here, which I mean to the if you have logic, it's impossible to
Well,
bring
no, I
everything
mean,
to
there's
the
two
US.
things to
It
it.
is
There's two things to
just
that.
impossible. We don't
Yeah,
have
we
the
don't have the
resources.
resources within our own grounds. So we'd still have to input all the
Hmm.
natural minerals and materials that we would need. We'd have to import it. Two, we don't have the
100%.
workforce. We don't have the
But him
workforce.
saying America first has now been thrown out the window with the fucking Iran thing. As soon as he's talking about taking action over there, I'm not condoning it. Okay, yeah, I think it's real fucked up. I don't think Iran should be attacking anyone. I don't think that they should have nuclear weapons. But also, I don't think that we should get so involved that this is going to be another fucking war in the
Well,
Middle East.
so one, if we don't get involved, is it going to be the first nuclear war where two sides use nuclear weaponry?
But that's the thing. If they shoot at each other, everyone around them is going to shoot too.
That's the worry.
Why is it on us? That's the thing. If they shoot at each other, everyone around them is going to shoot. Why the fuck is that on us?
Because we are the best country in the fucking world, man.
a true statement. That is a true statement. But
Let me tell you one of the most
what I'm saying.
empowering things I've ever heard in my entire life.
Hmm.
USA. 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 It is one of the most empowering things you can hear in your life, dude.
Agreed.
You yeah, you
Absolutely
get
agree.
a
Also, we can't keep saying that. If we go into another war and we get trillions more dollars of fucking debt, we won't be saying that because we're all going to be living
no,
in the
no,
fucking dark
dude,
ages
that is not
depression.
true. That's not true because what's going to happen is that $300 trillion that we're going to put into there, $200 trillion is going to disappear. And then they're just going to print more money and inflation's going to occur. And then we're just more in debt. And we're going to go, but I have $3 million. But if $3 million in 2047 is equating to $100 in 1985.
So I saw in the Great Depression, but instead of having to wipe our tears with leaves, we'll be wiping our tears with absolutely
No, we'd be
useless
wiping it with
$100 bills.
the shells of avocados because of all these fucking vegans.
No, dude, we were not gonna have anybody getting the fucking avocados because a lot of our avocados are coming from Mexico, and they're
Yeah,
not
well,
happy with us either.
did you hear the other thing
So
that's
we're gonna.
happening with avocados specifically? That
What
when
is
we
that?
plant avocados anywhere in the world, they bring in bees to then like help pollinate these avocados, right? Well, those bees that we bring in then fight the local bees, and trillions of bees die trying to create these.
Over turf wars?
Because there's not enough in that local. There's not
Not
enough in
native.
that local area to then like pollinate all of the avocados that they just planted.
That's crazy. Just find a way to artificially pollinate things, especially because we went through. Do you remember? This was might have been last year, might have been the year before. But do you remember the huge thing that there was about like the what's it called? The bees are dying out and all this
Oh
stuff.
yeah, yeah. There was it was a really cold spring, and they like all died out.
Yeah, but when and we started talking about the ramifications if it ever did happen completely, why the fuck did we not start that happen? And we started talking
So
about
what you're talking about
ramifications if it
is
ever did
what they
happen
did in
completely.
Hunger Games,
Why the fuck did we
where
not
they
start
created those
working
like
on
killer
that
bees.
immediately instead of wasting money? Knowing our country, our bees would probably
Well, unfortunately, Africa already did it with mosquitoes. So created killer mosquitoes. Like they just bite people and they just die of malaria. They already kind of figured it. Did you hear about the two Chinese guys that brought over some like deadly fungus?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks. Yeah, like last week. Who knows at this point?
I did hear about that. I did hear about that. That I'm pretty sure that's how I learned about the lady who poisoned her ex-husband's family with
You
mushrooms
got
in their
some
dinner.
weird news feeds, man.
No, dude,
Yeah,
I talked about that.
it so I heard a
Genius.
Mr. Ballin
It's
video
crazy, but
where this
it's kind of genius.
I think she was Taiwanese, but like she lived in China. So she was like she wanted to be famous, and so she got hired by this talent agent for like Instagram and TikTok, right? So he calls her up and says, I think you'll be great for this. We do prank stuff, this, that, and the other. So she goes out there And she does a couple of videos where she's pranking random people on the street. You know, it works out. They're like, oh, you know, we want to match you up with this other girl. And she goes, okay. They say, let's go to dinner. Guys can meet up. We can see the chemistry between you two. But they hit it off. They're doing good, right? They're like, all right, let's do another one. So the final one that they ended up prank that they ended up pulling, they said, "Hey, there's gonna be a guy. He's gonna look like this. You're gonna put on these plastic gloves, and you're gonna wipe this face cream on him, and then like you're gonna just run away, right? And we're gonna see his reaction, right?" So they do it, right? They run for this guy. He just got off the train. They rub this stuff all over his face, and they run away and they're laughing. What it actually was the Chinese government assassination of another person. So they tricked, yeah. So they tricked these two girls and these TV producers
without
to
getting.
then put this poison on this guy that was acid, and it killed him.
Holy shit! And he died.
Yeah, and he died.
How does that work now? In the court of law, how does that work? That's what I'm
And
saying.
I don't know,
I will
our
always
country,
equate
like,
it back to our country.
knowingly did it or didn't. I would assume in our country it'd be considered
What's it called?
something manslaughter. It's like incidental manslaughter.
Can you hear that? Echo. Google for whatever the fuck reason told me that.
I put a suppressor.
They hired him. I don't know why telling you to hire
on your sound.
a hitman, but
I can't hear you, dog.
oh, so there's a separate thing. There's a separate thing for if you get someone else
Well,
to
do you
murder
remember the
someone
one that
for you,
got caught because she
which
was
is
on coke?
legit called murder for hire. It's a federal crime.
Incidental? It's like like you didn't mean like they didn't know that they were killing that person, because I did hear another story. This one's even more messed up, dude. This one's really messed up. So, this ex-boyfriend got really mad at his girlfriend, right? They broke up, messy breakup. He then put on Craigslist that she was really into like rough sex, right? And she wanted people to walk into her house, break into her house, and like aggressively assault her. And she's going to act like she doesn't want it. Yeah, and people did. And they did it. How horrible is that?
You should be jailed. But also the people that are answering that,
That's all I'm saying.
like it's a fucking.
On both sides of that conversation is really messed up.
You're all fucked up. Yeah. See, in the first case, in the cream case, the people that put the cream on the face, they can at least say, no, we didn't want anything bad to happen. We didn't mean any of this. But in that case, like, all the parties are pretty shitty. Because then what are you going to say? Oh, no, well, this is exactly what the fuck I was looking for, and I thought it was going perfectly.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure you should still be locked the fuck up.
I think that there's so many. Oh my gosh, I just like went down a rabbit hole on my phone and it's terrifying.
There's a lot.
All these influencers that killed people. Yeah, so no, I just think it's really messed up. I think that there's so many people that are mentally ill that have not been checked, and it's a real issue. I think that is probably one of the biggest things that, if there's any takeaways from this, that people understand.
It's fucking crazy to me the amount of people that I've seen online that have like these childish mental breakdowns. And granted, when we were growing up, there wasn't as prevalent of internet everywhere and people videotaping everything. But I feel like there was much less of that before. I feel like now, I don't know why, but
I
people
don't
are
know,
more
dude. We grew up with Jerry Springer.
yeah, but no, Jerry Springer, not one episode of Jerry Springer has been as bad as some of these grown ass fucking like their shit has been excused. Yeah, but nowhere Jerry Springer, not one episode of Jerry Springer has been as bad as some of these grown ass fucking humans having breakdowns in the middle of goddamn CVS. But like that's the thing, because of that you shouldn't lose your shit like that. Yeah. Like from the it's because I mean let's be honest, we have seen some horrid fucking things on the internet because
No, that's true.
it
That's
was
true.
everywhere.
I
I
mean,
mean,
we
the
did
Wild
grow up with
Wild West
World
when we were
Star,
growing
so
up was
maybe
there were
Waffle
so
House
many
is
fucked up
different.
videos,
But
and after watching all of those, I would still say that
you should
if
know
you
how to
were anywhere in that
you
time
should know
frame,
how to contain
you
yourself.
should
Yeah,
be
I could understand that.
prepared to compose yourself at least. I mean, maybe it's us thinking differently though, because we are kids of foreign parent, and I know for me, if I
I
was
would
going to
agree.
throw a tantrum, whatever the fuck I was about to throw a tantrum for in a store was not worth the fucking hell I was going to pay in the car and at home. If I was going to throw a tantrum, whatever the fuck I was about to throw a tantrum for in a store was not worth the fucking hell I was going to pay in the car and at home.
That cold look that your mom gave you right when you started to even think about it. Oh, I got chills down my spine from just the idea of it.
You ranted a little bit too long would warrant mom
Oh God, yeah.
saying that we're just here and getting this, and this. Don't ask for anything. We're just gonna grab it. Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, miss. I'm sorry.
So, I don't know if people know this. Like, I don't know how many, what our demographic is yet, but the phrase "we have food at
I'm
home"
getting this, and this. Don't ask
is
for.
one that I think will always live with most minority kids. And I'm sure there's plenty of Caucasian kids that grew up with "we got food at home," you know. Um, but it was also "we have toys at home."
Everything. Everything is at home.
You know, you
Oh my god, that was
yeah,
always
you
the
should
thing. Now,
not
I
want
mean,
anything. You
when
could
I was
have
growing up,
nothing.
oh my
You
lord,
know.
there was starving kids in Africa that would kill for anything. Anything that I asked for, they would kill for what we had at home. So I shouldn't be asking for it. I don't know. I have helped
Oh
so many
yeah.
starving African children. Anything that I asked for, they would kill for what we had at home. So I shouldn't be asking for it.
Oh, it's craziness. It's crazy. Oh, dude.
I have helped so many starving African children just by not getting McDonald's.
there's like 50,000 homeless people that are like, thank you, Nihal, for not buying this. They threw it away.
Just by not getting McDonald's and going home and having dinner at home, apparently, according to. Thank you for not getting the French fries.
And I'm
God.
eating this now.
I don't know what the fuck the fucking connection was, but
Yeah.
hey.
Well, so here's one last like crazy story that I heard about. And most of these stories actually come from Mr. Ballin. His name's John Allen, and he was a Navy SEAL. I don't remember what SEAL team he worked with, but he had a grenade that exploded, so he's medically discharged, I believe. And so he became this storyteller, and he's one of the best storytellers that I've ever heard. Um, I found him in maybe after his first video went viral in 2020, 2021, somewhere right around there, called the Dyatlov Path. Mr. Ballin, which is funny because his name is actually John B. Allen, and yeah, but like because of that, he like made it one thing, so it said like Mr. B. Allen,
Are you serious?
so everyone calls him Mr. Ballin, right? But the first one I ever heard with the Dyatlov pass, which I just think is crazy in itself. But he also then told a story years later about in South America. I think it's Brazil, to be honest with you, but I'm not 100% sure with that. But there's a guy that just wanted to, had an idea of going into politics. He didn't really take off in politics, so he started doing uh, like news interviews on the streets for politics, right? Well, then he started getting bigger and bigger, and he became more of a like a shock news guy, right? Oh, look what's happening in this protest. Oh, look what's happening here. Look what's happening there, right? So then he became really famous, kind of doing that. Well, then all of a sudden he got really big because he was finding all of these like murdered people, right? Like people call in and tell him, "Oh, this person's murdered. You can come out here and like do this." Right? Him and his crew would go out there. They'd have cameras. They do this and that, the other. They get like the first interviews of it going on. They were the first ones on the scene, and this happened a couple times. Happened a couple more times. What ended up happening was he was hiring hitmen to kill these people because he was the first one on the scene.
Well, he had insider information. I didn't realize that he was the one setting up the fucking murders. That's crazy. Just to hang on to that fucking relevance, that's crazy as fuck.
By the end,
but that, like, oh man, I feel sad for people like that because that means that you had nothing in your life.
Like that's
other than
thirst, man.
Other than looking at your camera and doing your little thing. Oh man, I feel sad for people like that because that means that you had nothing in your life.
More or less.
Other than looking at your camera and doing your little thing.
Yeah. Your likes and your subscription, your subscribers, were the only things going for you in life. Right? It's pretty unfortunate.
That dictated your whole life. Yeah, that's fucking sad. That's crazy. You bringing up the fucking streamer remind me. Do you know who Vlad is? Vlad,
I think you just like mixed
Anatoly
two people in because Anatoly is a weightlifter.
His first name is Vlad.
Okay, but it's like
his full name
his handle is like Anatoly. Where he dresses, where he dresses up as like a janitor.
Yeah, that's probably
that's
probably him then.
Okay.
Oh no, that's not him. Okay. That's a different Anatoly. This guy. He does some of his stuff, at least that I've seen. I don't know if it's current. I'm not a follower of his, but I've seen him do some videos that were like to catch a predator, where they talk to the person, they get him to come out. He's like a Russian dude.
I don't know if I know.
He has an accent and everything, but yeah, though, like I've seen them get the video. I've seen videos of that where they get the people into the house. They come out. They let him know that he's a piece of shit. They already called the cops. They'll slap around the guy a little bit. But he's also one of those fucking douchebags that they will take their streamer name to go to different countries and act like absolute pieces of shit to everyone because it's content. Well, you know what's really unfortunate? This man got arrested in the Philippines.
They chopped people's fingers off.
Got arrested in the Philippines because he was being disrespectful to shop owners. They got him on, I think they got him on theft
they chopped
as
fingers
well.
Off there, dude.
Dude, 20 years. He's on the hook for 20 fucking years right now.
Hey, fuck around, get found out.
Mm-hmm. He was. They were trying to talk to the U.S. and have, like,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
Brittany
yeah. Trying to
Griner
get a
thing of like,
trade
hey,
going
give us
on,
back our person
which
type
was
thing.
crazy too. One, I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah,
crazy that she got hooked up for Bud, but at the same time, like
I agree. I
you
agree,
should
but
have
also she
known.
should still be in
Yeah, like don't be doing that.
because if you're going
Like if you, all
to
right, so I
think
have a
that you're
question. If
fucking
you're
hot shit
openly
just
like
because you're a
queer or
WNBA
gay,
player.
should you go to a Muslim country?
I mean, if you want to experience what it's like to be gay in that country, sure, but I don't think that's the best vacation in the world. I also don't think that single women should go to Middle Eastern countries either.
So I'm proud to be a dude. I'm proud to be a dude.
Whether it's fair or not, when
Yeah, I think that there's like I don't agree with all their laws. I will
yeah, I don't.
promise you that.
Mm-hmm.
I do not agree with their laws. Um Sharia law is something that needs to be addressed in, in society. It needs to be addressed. Yeah, in a world setting it needs to be addressed. Um I support women, I support men, I support whoever you are with whatever you believe in, except there's a line. So I have a quick question for you because it's going to be very interesting in the sense of like pedophilia, which is something that like I do not agree with by any means, but it's going to come into line.
Of course.
Do you think it's right that we can let 18-year-olds go and die for our country, but can't come back and drink in our country?
No, no, no. No, not at all. And I, real life example with my brother when he went right up high school. He went to college for a young went to the army. When he came out the first time, he was 20 years old. When he was 20 years old, he was not allowed to buy alcohol. He wasn't allowed to go to bars. He wasn't allowed in the fucking door because of his ID. And the anger that this man had about it, completely justified as well,
I agree.
in my opinion. But the anger that this man had, and the when he told me about like how shitty it made him feel that like he went put everything, not just his life,
To find out he's a
everything on the
child.
fucking line. Yeah, to come back and be treated like a child that didn't know anything. I think that is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
I think it's
At the
awful.
very least, I think a military ID, you get a drink.
I agree. I agree. I don't care if it's
I
on base,
understand it.
off base. I think it's something
Mm-hmm.
that if you have a military ID, I don't care. You can drink at this bar. You did a service to this country that other people won't do, myself included. I wasn't going to do it.
Playing devil's advocate, I can understand if people were somewhat against it because then you'll have people that just got out from an ROTC, got a military license, so now they get the benefit from that too. But my argument for that to benefit from that too, but my argument for that would be that they're still, at least they're still signed up. They are signed up for the army. Where if we have a fucking war
And
tomorrow,
you know what, dude? Like even
their name's
if
getting
they were
called.
like, "Oh,
They are
they
gonna
got
go.
a DUI, they got this or that," like they're still gonna go to war if we go to war. Like,
Older than fucking 18 when I got a DUI.
and I just think that it's such a disservice to our servicemen and women that they're willing to go through these things that so many people aren't. Like, imagine if we had a mandatory draft. You can you imagine what kind of shit show our army would be?
Oh my god.
Like, I
Yeah.
can't imagine how inefficient we'd be if there was a mandatory draft.
Let me share one with I actually, he part of the reason he left the army. Now he planned that it wasn't going to be a life thing for him, but he got out. I think 2 years before 20, which at 20 you get the absolute full benefits of the army. There's some things that he didn't get, but they've been supplemented because he's a retired disabled vet, so it's made up for it. But he was telling me because at near the end of his tenure, he was I don't remember exactly what his rank was, but I know that for his job over here at Fort Bragg, he was teaching the privates that were coming in. He was teaching classes to those privates to get them ready for battle and all that. He said the thing that made him really get sick of it and want to leave is that his classes at the end became less about preparing these fucking boys for war, preparing them for combat, preparing them for what they're going to go through, and it became more about talking to people, about how to talk to people to not offend people.
It's
Fucking crazy.
Dude, it's at all
I think
levels of education. That is at all levels of education that. Well, so all right, so I actually got to have a great conversation 2 weekends ago when
it
I got to
hurts
go
me.
to my old band director's retirement party because we were just talking about how I marched in a group, a Drum Corps International, that back in the day was very tough. We were taught by military instructors. We were pushed really hard. We were yelled at. We were called names. And, I kind of just made the comment that, if you messed up a lot, there were public stonings, essentially. Like, we weren't throwing stones at each other, but at the same time, like, there was punishment involved for your mistakes, and it wasn't the instructors doing it. We judged each other, we challenged each other, we were the ones holding up the expectations of what was happening.
Accountability of the group, I think, is even more important than accountability by the authority, if you
Yeah,
will.
and that would never fly today. Never ever fly today. And I bring this up about my younger brother and my older sister. My older sister and I actually always laugh about this. That the reason why my younger brother is so lazy about things is one because he's so smart, but two is because my parents never hit him. My brother's 6 years younger than me, 8 years younger than my sister. My mom raised me and my sister, and my dad more or less raised my brother. My mom, you know, hit us with that spoon. My brother got sent to timeout. You know, my young brother got sent to timeout, sat in the bathroom for a little while, and they wondered why he was so different from the two of us. So, there I think there is something to be said that here's my favorite way to explain it. Joe Jackson, the father of the Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson, showed us the best. You can beat your children to greatness.
Pieces of society.
No, I don't know about that.
Hey, normal compared to a lot of shit that's going on around in the world.
Oh, Michael got it the worst, I guess, then. He held his baby out of a 5-story building.
Holy shit! Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah,
But
you're not wrong. Yeah, I
but
think it's when he got the zoo, then the training went away.
well, so we talk about all these different topics, and we talk about all these difficult topics at time. For different people, different topics are more difficult. I think that it's very healthy that we can have an open forum to these conversations. I think it's great that we have different outlooks on it, or we can look at it from the other side, from each other at times, to then enhance the conversation. And I think it's something that I would love to do with any of the viewers and the comments, you know.
If any of this resonates with y'all, if you heard us say something that you're like, I completely fucking disagree, or I completely agree, please let us know. We'd love to have a whole pod of talking to the viewers.
Who knows? We could maybe be able to bring you on and have the chat with you. Who knows? Who knows what
Mm-hmm.
we can do? But I know that you see some new overlays, some new kind of like things that we're trying to do. We're trying to just enhance things. We're trying to get things better. I threw up Big Buddha's bot or not. Welcome to the chat. You know, I just thought he'd enjoy that under his. I got jump in the tank. The water feels fine. You know, I'm having a lot of fun with this. If anyone needs help with this kind of stuff, I'm very open to give you a hand and give you ideas of what to do. Nee actually would love to talk to you about a better way for you to do gaming on your PC to maybe get it more fluid. And also, if you want to throw up your face or not, you know, whatever you want to do with it, I have a really good engine that you could use for it. Um, but you know, otherwise,
On the game streaming, but I think I want a green screen before I do that, so that I don't have a full box being taken out of the game.
I have one that already does it for you.
How?
It's already built into it, so you wouldn't be
That's
using
crazy.
OBS anymore. You would just be using this secondary thing that I could get you. All right, and like I already pay for the service, so like I would just give it to you, and then you could just use it on your PC. But this is the kind of collaboration that Big Boot and I are trying to create. That we are supporting each other in everything that we're doing. If it's growing his channel, growing my channel, growing our channel, we're just trying to work together the best we can. He's one of my best friends in the entire world.
We're trying to share each other with the fucking world, honestly.
Yeah, and so you know we have conversations about, oh, we can improve here, we can do this, we can do that. You know, like we are constantly talking to each other. Me to him more than him to me because he's a busy little beaver. Uh,
I'm just real shitty. I'm just real shitty with the phone.
well, we on Twitch right now.
I'm just real shitty.
Yeah,
Let
bring it
us
up.
know.
Please just bring it up.
I would love, my fucking dream would be to have a full podcast where it was talking to viewers, seeing what your point of views are, and really talking it out. Because without doing that, you don't get a full understanding of anything.
And if you jumped in late to this stream, you know, the first half of the stream was literally us just editing and figuring things out. If you enjoy that kind of stuff, we'll do that in the beginning of any Twitch stream. But if you watch it on YouTube, you won't see that. I edit that stuff out. I throw in extra things to our YouTube videos. If you want to see me do that, you know, let me know and I can show you how I'm doing all of these things. But watch us on YouTube, like, subscribe. It really helps out. Throw up some emojis in the chats. You know, comment. It helps with the algorithms. We're trying to get better and better at this. And if you have any tips, yeah, yeah, but it's cool.
I don't know if you saw that, but I winked at them.
Yeah, they enjoyed it. I didn't.
We are growing.
But otherwise, this is gonna be it. I'm gonna throw in this.